what they say about you versus what they really feel when they're alone. So pile number 1, we're going to have a look at what they say to others about you. So this is going to reveal the external narrative. Let's have a look. Their external narrative. We've got the 8 of Pentacles and we've got the 7 of Wands. And then let's have a look at the truth, what they truly feel about you when they're alone. We have got the 5 of Cups sideways. And we have got the Empress. The contrast that we're seeing in both of these piles is very powerful. In public, they present as quite guarded and focused, as if they're building a life beyond this. But in solitude, we can see that their soul aches for what was lost, and they still see you as very precious and radiant and emotionally unmatched. So this is a reading for those who have felt emotionally unseen, but are spiritually unforgettable. So this reading might be for you if you know that there's more that's going on beneath the surface, and your person might have been acting distant or overly logical, as if they've moved on, when every energetic thread says otherwise. So what they say to others about you. This 8 of Pentacles, let's start there. And traditionally, this is a card of work. It's of craftsmanship and mastery. So in conversation, they might present you as someone that they were focused on once, but now they're working on themselves, building their future, or distracted by career. If we look at this particular 8 of Pentacles, it's very different from a traditional card. And we can see that there's this spider at the center of the web, and this suggests that they've built quite a complex narrative, something that's been very carefully constructed. It's very intricate, and it is designed to last. We can see that the pentacles are actually sewn into the web, as are these little jewels. And this shows that you are deeply embedded in their thoughts. No matter how much they pretend otherwise, you've become part of their inner architecture. Then we have this 7 of Wands. So they also talk about how hard it was, maybe how they had to protect themselves, or how the relationship was challenging. So there might be defensiveness or even victimhood in the way that they maybe frame the past. There is a deeper truth though. So let me bring this card a little bit closer so we can look at the symbolism together. We can see that there is a figure in the card, and that is you, the viewer, and you're standing on top of this jewel. Even as there are multiple wands that are rising up and poking you from all directions. So this is not a victim's pose. It's a position of resilience and power. So you remained anchored in your truth while facing judgment and pressure, or even their own emotional avoidance. We can see here that there is this circle of crescent moons. And this speaks to your spiritual protection and your intuitive depth. So you are not just someone that they dated, you're someone that they remember as being very rooted in something bigger and mysterious and magnetic. And whether they speak it out loud or not, they still feel you rising above it all. So what they say is that it was all too much, but what they really saw is someone who is unshakable, someone who's radiant, and someone that they couldn't match at the time. Now, what they truly feel when they are alone, we have this 5 of Cups that came sideways. And this card, it really shows someone stuck between grief and the possibility of healing. The sideways position really suggests that they're not fully over you, but they're also not fully honest with themselves. So emotionally they're suspended, still grieving what's lost, but really afraid to turn around and acknowledge what remains. This 5 of Cups, it represents them. So when I bring this closer, we can see that there are tears and they are filling up the cups. And this is their emotional truth, what they feel when they are alone. The tears that fall into the first cup and then overflow into the others, they show that their sadness is not just present, it is spilling out and affecting everything beneath the surface. It really shows unspoken grief and lingering sorrow, and a sense of loss that they haven't actually healed from, even if they say otherwise. So what we're seeing here is that while you might be the one who's longing for answers, is actually the person in question who is emotionally flooded in this moment, and they are quietly grieving and trying to carry on without fully processing the depth of what this connection meant to them. Now, I had talked about the crescent moons that we had seen in the Seven of Wands cards, and in this card we can see the earrings are shaped like the little crescent moons, and also this pearl necklace that I'm going to talk about when we come to the Empress card here. But to me, this really symbolizes that they still feel your emotional and intuitive presence, even if they don't consciously understand it. Your energy remains woven in their inner world. It's really felt, it's remembered, and it is missed. So while this Five of Cups represents them, I believe that the Empress represents you, the viewer. Not only how they feel about you, but how their soul perceives you, especially when all of the noise of the world fades. So you are the one that they placed in a sacred space in their mind. And we can see that the Empress in this particular deck, she is sitting in a clamshell, and that you are the pearl, formed through pressure, rare and impossible to replace. We can see that there is this sunlight that is shining down, and this shows that your presence still illuminates something within them, even if they're not sure how to reach you anymore. In a traditional deck, we would see the Empress wearing a crown with stars on it and usually an ankh necklace. And in this card, she is not, because she herself is the treasure, and there's nothing really here to decorate. She is the embodiment of worth and beauty and emotional power. And this becomes even more significant when we connect the Five of Cups, where the person that we've been reading about for you are the one who is wearing this golden pearl necklace. So this is no ordinary accessory. It is a symbol of remembrance. So to me, as I look at these cards, the necklace that they wear is that representation of you. You, the Empress, you are the pearl, and you are something that they carry close to their heart. Even as they may cry or grieve, you are right there with them, hanging just above their heart space and representing a love and a loss that they cannot fully release. So this connection is really layered with what was unspoken and unprocessed and unforgettable. And on the surface, they might appear very composed or focused on their path, but beneath it all, you remain the pearl that they couldn't hold, yet they really can't stop carrying. So they might speak of distance or of work or of closure, but their soul actually tells a completely different story. And you are the jewel that they still feel, the Empress who rose from the clamshell long after they turned away. And even in their private sorrow, they really wear your memory close, a quiet reverence for the love that they lost. So as this chapter of the reading comes to a close, please know that most of my offerings are temporarily paused while I'm traveling with my adult children, but I will be back on Friday, May the 30th with a very special 6/6 portal reading offer, something very powerful and limited, and it's going to be created especially for those of you that are drawn to deep soul connections and energetic turning points. So keep your eye out, because if this reading stirred something within you, then that particular portal might be calling for you.